optic glass.
Hey now, what's going on? Friday night again, and we are back for another edition of Friday Night Frights. Welcome, everybody. How you doing tonight? Hope everything is groovy with you. With me, the Zigzag is here, and also we've got the Colonel.
Woo!
And the Red Crank.
Woo!
Yeah, baby.
What?
Tonight, man, how you guys doing?
Good. Lazy day today, so I'm good.
Fucking-tastic.
Friday night, we can't go anywhere. We might as well stay home and talk about the best horror movies from 1983. Oh, yes. An interesting year, to say the least. I found this list to be easy, honestly. I mean, really, it was just simple. I'm familiar with all of them and saw almost all of them in theaters back in the day. How about you guys?
I saw some of them in the theaters. Not all of them.
I was -1, so I did not see a single fucking movie on this list in theater.
That's all right.
Ray? Thank you for joining us, buddy.
Hey, Ray, what's going on?
Through the magic of videotape, the Colonel has caught up to exactly where we are, so we're going to be just fine. And hey, man, if you haven't already, thank you for coming out tonight. But if you could, go on over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button, notification bell. We'd appreciate it. That is the lifeblood of this whole thing. And it'll get you this shit right in your face as soon as we put it out. All kinds of content from the Death Curse Society. And it's all right there at your fingertips, man. Yeah.
Well, and hey, since Ray is watching, let's throw out a shout out to him as well, you know. Check them out on Facebook. It's the Horror Syndicate. Check them out on Facebook and also on YouTube. And I'm not sure exactly what other social media they're on, but look them up, the Horror Syndicate.
Yeah,
They're out there.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, the Horror Syndicate Discourse. Tune in. That's a good watch.
Yeah.
They're going to break it down. And, man, they just did The Fog. That was the shit, by the way. Well done.
Hello, Eric. Welcome back to the show.
So
Well, then, boys, I think we should, without further ado, get right to why we're here tonight. Although I want to mention that right after we're done giving you our top 5 for 1983, we're going to go ahead and drop, if you haven't seen it yet, the teaser trailer, brand spanking fucking new teaser trailer for Terrifier 2. We got it. We're going to drop it right after we're done with the list. So stick around for that.
Yeah, Damien definitely threw a wrench in our fucking plans tonight. I was expecting sometime next week. It was like, end of July. I wasn't expecting today. I was like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. And I watched it real quick on YouTube. So.
Tran ask. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Tran, I hope. Ask, you guys do reviews? Yes, most of the time we do.
Especially on our YouTube channel. Tonight, well, I guess to say we'll do reviews, just very brief reviews, but
Kind of shooting from the hip on reviews, from the hip, from the spot, just boom, boom, boom. Quick synopsis, boom, we'll get right to it.
Right.
So, I guess we will start with Mr. Red Crank tonight.
Me?
Yes, sir.
yeah.
God damn it.
You know the rules, buddy.
All right.
Top 5 movies and honorable mentions before we give the number 1. And go ahead, sir. The floor is yours.
All right. 1983. This was recommended, wasn't it, by Eric, if I remember last week? Okay.
I believe so.
Thank you for the recommendation, Eric. Start thinking now of what we might do next time we do this. I'm not sure exactly when we're doing it. We didn't get a chance to discuss that. We'll chat about that later. But my number 5 for 1983, mostly just because it was fucking groundbreaking for the time, Sleepaway Camp. Introduced us to the enigmatic Felissa Rose at a very young age. Now, granted, I was at a very young age, too, back then. So, I could have the hotsies for her. So, oh, no, I would not want to do that to you guys. All right, well. Keep thinking, Eric. But number 5, Sleepaway Camp, because it's such a basic story, and it's so good, and there are some good damn kills in there, and then the twist, man. In 1983, there's no way you saw that coming. Not Not a chance in hell you saw it coming. In today's day, sure, it's on like every other, Netflix series. It seems like, all of a sudden, there's a dick. Who knows? You didn't know it was coming. Kind of like that Swampy J pizza that we once had a long time ago. Oof. You thought it was just a cheese pizza, but hidden underneath all that cheese, you take a bite, where'd all this fucking meat come from? And it's just right there. And, God.
Tucked in, nice and tight.
Tucked in all the way. Number 4. As you guys know, I'm a big Stephen King fan. I got to go with The Dead Zone for number 4. Christopher Walken, back in the day, before he really got too eccentric. He was still eccentric, but he was a young eccentric. So in the 80s, it was just kind of weird. Now it's kind of kitschy, It fits him. But definitely number 4, The Dead Zone. Love Christopher Walken in that. Love the parallels that even Stephen King has admitted to. He didn't mean it to happen, but the parallels that we're kind of going through today with that kind of a story. Don't want to get into it too much here because don't want to separate half the audience from, telling us to eat a dick and then walk away. Yeah, let's not do that.
No.
But I am going to keep it in the zone for a minute because my number 3 is The Twilight Zone. What is there to say about this? Again, as some of you know, I love anthology movies like Creepshow and things like that. I like little stories put together into one movie that may or may not really tie together. Twilight Zone was one of the first ones that I really ever remember seeing and remembering. And of course, we all know about the tragedy, that the tragedy in the Twilight Zone that took the lives of 2 young actors and an established actor. That actually happened. What? 30? The anniversary of that accident was
37.
Yeah. So strange that we're doing this right now, and I'm bringing this movie up, I guess, right now. But the timing was good, and I like this movie. Dan Aykroyd was fun. It's just a twisted little movie, and I dig it. Number 2, probably one of my favorite part 2s of all time, Psycho 2. Again, here we are, 22 years after the release of the original, and we have 2 of the main actors returning, Anthony Hopkins and Vera Miles. Side note, Vera Miles, born in Oklahoma, just to throw that out there. Yeah, suck a dick.
Every chance he's fucking.
Hey, well, if I lived in Kentucky, I'd be disappointed too. So, fuck you.
I'd rather live here than fucking Oklahoma.
But it brought back Anthony Perkins and Vera Miles. Anthony Perkins is probably, and Norman Bates, I should say, is one of my favorite on-screen characters of all time. And I've always liked the dynamic of his character and the exploration of the mental illness that he had, even in the first one. But they kind of really dove into it in the second one, especially with the whole group trying to make him feel crazy again and trying to inspire him to kill again. I like that twist and the fact that he stayed away from it for most of the movie. And fought his demons for a while. Spoiler alert, he doesn't until at the very end. He kind of gives in to his cravings and takes care of shit. But he takes it out on the person that's really fucking with him, kind of. So I dug that. And to go back and visit such a classic movie the way they did. Was just fun, especially 22 years later, almost in a kind of the similar sense that Halloween 2018 did for the original Halloween in 78. Now, granted, a much longer period of time. Psycho 2 also featured great performances by Dennis Franz as the sleazy former owner or former resident, the caretaker, I guess, of the hotel and the house, and a charming performance by Meg Tilly, who was like the queen of the 80s movies at the time. So how can you go wrong? Psycho 2, number 2. We're on honorable mentions now, right?
Yes, sir.
I hope I have these in the same order that you do.
It's okay. I got it.
Okay.
Echo.
Yeah, where's the echo?
Is there an echo?
There was. Now it's gone.
Okay.
Maybe it was just for effect. All right. My first honorable mention is right. One Dark Night.
Sure. Yes.
Okay. All right. I don't remember what order I sent them to you in.
All right.
Honorable mention, One Dark Night for 1983. I actually watched this again last night after Ziggy and I were playing some video games and chatting about it a little bit. And as with a lot of 80s movies, this one is very, very dated. It doesn't age as well as I would have liked to have remembered. I haven't seen this movie in a long damn time until last night. Another decent performance, not as good as in Psycho 2, but another decent performance from Meg Tilly. I really enjoyed. Yeah, just it's a fun movie. The payoff, like Ziggy has said, the payoff is great at the end, but you got to wait for that end.
I may have a thing or two to say about this film later. We'll see.
I'm sure you will. The only one of the things that I realized about this movie last night, watching it again, was that this could have been a 15 to 20 minute short film and just knock out like that first hour. Turn that first hour into like 2 minutes. You know, you could have done that and it would have been very good, very powerful. My next honorable mention, Cujo. Yes, another one from Stephen King. I mean, Stephen King was a shit in 1983 when it came to feature films and movie theaters. He was in there. So, Cujo, Dee Wallace, come on. Danny Pintaro, before you knew he was, before he was in Who's the Boss, and then before you knew he was not the boss, for lack of a better term. And how great was it to see man's best friend like completely turn against you in a way. And that was one thing I remember as a kid. That movie terrified me because we had dogs growing up and I loved animals, and it didn't change my perception of the animals necessarily, but it definitely made me a little more wary. So Cujo is another honorable mention. One last honorable mention before we get to my number one. Jaws 3. I mean, there's not much else to say. 3D, especially in the 80s, perfect timing for 3D movies. As cheesy as this movie was, it was a lot of fun.
Dennis Quaid.
Hey, I'm getting to that.
Woo!
Dennis Quaid in all his glory, yes, absolutely. But I also remember getting the baseball, the collectible baseball card kind of memorabilia packs for Jaws 3, and they came with the glasses, and most of the cards were just photos, but there was always one in every pack that was 3D, and I remember having those as a kid and collecting those, and that was just fun. It did not make my top 5, mostly because of story. The story was as with most sequels, especially in that time frame. But anyway, And my number one film of 1983, going back to the master of horror one last time, Christine. I mean, this is likely one of my favorite Stephen King adaptations just because it's such an 80s movie. And this one I like because it's so dated. The car is beautiful. The acting is damn near great in most instances. The music fits. The mood is set. The guys that are the assholes in the movie are just perfect. And if you were ever bullied in high school, you felt the pain in that movie. Watching this movie,
Buddy Repperton, right? Buddy Repperton.
Right.
Oh.
You knew exactly what kind of shit that character was going through, and you could relate to him. And you know, if you could have gotten your own car like that could just mow people over and then, you know, wreck itself and regenerate, that would be the perfect kind of revenge. But unfortunately, that only happens in Stephen King books and movies. So there you go. That's my top 5. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, man, it's not bad at all. Not bad at all, folks. Damn.
All right, so his top 5 are number 5, Mausoleum. 4, Videodrome. 3, Sleepaway Camp. 2, Psycho 2. 1, Christine.
Yep.
Pretty solid top 5 there. Mike Amos, thank you for joining us. Jaws 3D, first horror movie ever watched at a theater. I was 5, hooked ever since.
Kudos.
I hope that pun wasn't intended. I know it was. Eric says music in Christine was amazing.
Right?
It was. All right. Before I get started on my list, Crank, I just have to say this. If you were on Stephen King's dick any harder, you'd be a comic, okay? I'm dead serious. But speaking of being on Stephen King's dick, here's the Colonel's top 5 list.
Woo!
Number 5.
I was going to say, well, you know, some of us like to read, goddammit.
This is a perfect segue. Number 5, Cujo. What's up? Yes, this one could easily have been an honorable mention, honestly. But man, it just really stood out to me as a kid. It was one of the few movies that actually kind of gave me a scare. I was like, oh shit, you know. And I could really appreciate the fact they have a stuntman dressed up as a rabid Saint Bernard doing scenes. That's fucking phenomenal.
Right.
I mean, that's good. That's good work right there. I mean, as a little kid, I didn't know it was a guy in a fucking suit. I realized the dog looked kind of funny, but he fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
All right, number 4. Ooh. The Twilight Zone. Yes. Granted, I wasn't around like to see any of these movies in 1983, but man, I remember catching the Twilight Zone on HBO when I was probably, let's say, 8 or 9, and fucking loving every second of it because I had no clue what the fucking Twilight Zone even was at that age. I didn't know it was an old TV show, so on and so forth. I was like, oh, okay. And it was fucking phenomenal. The retelling of the Gremlin on the plane, John Lithgow fucking killed it, and that always made a special place in my heart. And the kid that could do whatever he wanted, you know, at the age of seeing that movie, I was like, man, hell yeah, that'd be awesome. But I don't think I'd eat peanut butter sandwiches like they did. That shit looked fucking gross.
That Gremlin was badass.
That Gremlin was fucking badass, dude. It still looks good. It's not dated at all. Number 3, Christine.
Who's on Stephen King's dick?
That's it. Back to that Stephen King dick.
Jeez.
Who doesn't fucking love Christine? Let's be honest here.
I was going to say.
That's a good fucking movie. Everybody, you know, see the nerd turn into the fucking bad guy, turns into an arrogant little cock. We all know people like that. You just get picked on, and once you get older in high school, they thought they were the shit. It's like, man, I remember you got busted jerking off in the fucking science lab. Don't act like you're any better than the rest of us. And then I had to go to the principal's office. But anyway,
what's in that beaker, Colonel?
TMI. So Christine classic. And again, yes, the music is fucking amazing. The car is fucking beautiful. Oh, that was not to like. Number 2, Sleepaway Camp. Yes, I said it. Number 2, Sleepaway Camp. I should this could have been number 1, or it could have been number 3 because of the Twig and Berries. But yes, the Twig and Berries is what put this movie so high on my list. I did not see that coming.
Thank God.
You all right, Crank?
Yeah, I'm just laughing at the imagery.
All right. So, yeah, that twist ending fucking sold it to me forever. It's probably one of the better slashes of all time. Granted, it wasn't as gory as some. They left a lot to the imagination. The sure as fuck didn't leave a lot to the imagination.
Oof.
When that fucking Vienna sausage was hanging out. Let's be honest, I wouldn't have nothing to brag about, but it was shocking. It's just I wish I could see that movie again for the first time because I've never been that shocked in my fucking life. Like, oh shit!
Right.
It's fucking phenomenal. All right, guess we go to honorable mentions, huh?
Mentions, yes, sir.
I've got one. One Dark Knight. This could easily been swapped out with Cujo or Curtains or fucking Mausoleum or even The Prey. It's just One Dark Knight was the better of all those. I mean, there's really not a whole lot of redeeming qualities. I can honestly, sorry Ray, no offense, I can go without seeing Mausoleum ever again. I can go without seeing Curtains ever again. One Dark Knight, that's one. Like, I'll watch it. Dated, yes, but I do like the gothic feel to it, and being such a fan of Friday the 13th Part 6 kind of helps this movie out a little bit too. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, that's all I got. I only got one honorable mention. Sorry, folks. I'm kind of bad. This was not a good year for the Colonel in horror films like these gentlemen. And number one, probably one of the most fucked up movies I've ever seen in my life. I absolutely fucking love it. Videodrome. Yes, I can appreciate any movie where a guy's stomach turns into a fucking vagina. They stick in a VHS tape and it goes all fucked up. Next thing you know, he's reaching in and he's pulling out a fucking gun that's stuck to his hand. And you got fucking chick from fucking Blondie all fucked up, showing her boobies, burning herself, fucking cigarettes. That movie's just fucked up, man. It's fucking great. I love it. It's one of my favorite horror films, if you can call it horror.
Deborah Harry, baby. Deborah Harry.
Yeah, she was a good-looking woman, man. I was intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, there you have it. I can't praise this movie enough other than what I have. Just, hey, if you haven't seen it, please see it. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking awesome. Like, I could really see TV being like that in about another 20, 30 years.
Right.
Like, who doesn't want to watch a fucking snuff film on TV, man? I mean, fuck, let's do it now.
We kind of have been watching them in the news lately, it seems like, in some cases, but you never know anymore.
Man.
Yeah. Mary says she's late to the party tonight. Hope everyone's having a great time. We are so far. Hope you're having a great time. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Let me cover this up because I'm awfully tired. I did a lot of work today, so I'm drinking more than I usually do. I hate this shit.
Stay hydrated.
Ziggy, before you get to your list, our friend Lorena, she's not able to watch right now. She's going to have to catch it a little bit later, but she sent us her list, her top 5, if you don't mind.
Let's have it.
Throw it out there. Lorena says her number 5 is The Final Terror. She says, I love that wilderness bloody death shit. Also had Daryl Hannah before she came out of the cuckoo closet. Number 4 is Videodrome. Deborah Harry. Oh, yeah, that's all she says. Number 3, Sleepaway Camp, featuring Felissa Rose, Mangled Dick Expert.
Love the Joe Bob shout out there. Fantastic.
Right. Number 2, One Dark Night, classic. E.G. Daily and Meg Ryan compete for the world's cutest little voice. And then number 1, The Hunger, David Bowie and beautiful lesbian vampiresses. What more does one need in death? There you go. So,
you know what? I'm glad we read that list because there's a lot of them there that didn't appear on any of our lists, but they deserve to be recognized. And I was going to talk about a few of them, but Lorena did a great job there bringing up a few of the more rare ones that were actually kind of decent, but for whatever reason didn't make the main list of the three of us.
Yeah.
As now we get to my list, the main event. Yeah, right.
Hold on.
Whatever. Look at Colonel's going to sleep on me here. Unfortunately, a lot of the Thunder's been taken from my list, but that's okay. I may have a surprise or two left for you. Here we go.
I think you might.
Number 5, Sleepaway Camp. I mean, come on. It is. It's a creative kill slasher. Not much blood, it's not right in your face, but it's still good enough. It's creepy enough. And that ending, man, in my age, Colonel got to see it later. Your hair stands up just from the dumb look on her face, the animal fucking lion face she's making, and then they pan out and there's the dick.
That's my impression, sorry.
It's startling. It's absolutely. But unforgettable and therefore worthy of a spot on this list.
Yep.
Number 4. I guess I got to get me some of that Stephen King. I'm going with Christine. Nerd turns vigilante, crazy killer obsessed by a car, a very cool car at that. But this movie pace is great. It's acted well. The bullies, like they said, just excellent. And I love Christine. It's near the top of my Stephen King movies for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Has to be, you know. Next, number 3, it's Psycho 2. Now, I saw this in theaters, and I loved it. I loved the continuation of the story. I love the fact that Norman's trying, man. He tried. He really tried to get to normal, to be normal. And those people just couldn't stand. He was out walking free, couldn't deal with it, and had to go out of their way, even murder, to prove how crazy he was.
Right.
You know, but and then the twist at the end where his real mother's in there too. I don't know about all that, but it was cool. But then, yes, Norman was back and did set out for a couple of more adventures, but this one was good, and it was scary. It was actually a worthy sequel, like these guys said, in the light of Halloween 2018, where we had a 40-year later sequel. It was cool, man. If you haven't seen it, do yourself the favor. It's good. It's worth it. Worth seeing.
I would have cranked it, ruined the fucking ending for me. Thank you.
Well, and hold on.
So I didn't see this.
Like you haven't seen
it. Time to watch it. It's my fault.
Spoiler alert.
But I didn't go as far as to say that what Ziggy just said. So, you know.
I did say a lot, but then again, it is an old movie, you know, yes.
Before you move on, though, I want to also point out that Psycho 2, Tom Holland and the creative people behind this movie had the balls to say, we want to do a sequel to fucking Hitchcock. I mean, how? You know? How do you do that?
And totally delivered it.
Yeah, and the fact that it actually pays off and it does it well, woo, you know, so good. You know, even when Gus Van Sant came out and tried to do a remake of Psycho, that completely bombed and was panned by critics because it was such a piece of shit. And I don't know anybody that likes the remake of Psycho. Nobody. Vince Vaughn even hates that fucking movie. So the fact that in 1980 sometime they started talking about, we want to write a sequel to Psycho and continue the story from Alfred Hitchcock, that took some fucking balls, and kudos to Tom Holland for doing it. Anyway, sorry.
Psycho 2, man, it's totally worth it. Like, if you haven't seen it and you're into, you know, the whole Psycho storyline, you ever wonder what happened to Norman Bates, you get all of it, everything you wanted to know. It's great. I wouldn't miss it. It's on the list, man. Got to see it. Number 2. Now, some people may not dig where I'm coming from with this, but this movie did not technically get released in the United States until 1983. It was known in Europe in 1980, The City of the Living Dead. Here in the States, it's The Gates of Hell from Lucio Fulci, 1983 in theaters. Yes, Colonel, show him the shirt, baby.
Oh, I was the whole time and no one noticed because I wasn't even smart enough to put this on my list. I didn't make that connection. I was like, fuck.
I was there.
That should be on my top 5.
That's a reach. That's a fucking reach, man.
Nope. 1983, baby. It's a release. It was released in 83. It's written. It's on paper. That's the way it was. I saw it in 83 with actually my number 1 movie. So I'm going to get to that in a second. But, man, I want to talk about The Gates of Hell for a minute.
All right.
For God's sake, man. You have the gore. I mean, this was Italian gore at its best. The regurgitation scene. The drill bit scene with old Bob, you know, the maggots and stuff getting crushed into the faces and the storms of maggots and brain smashing. Story, not so much, but it wasn't about that, man. It was about the horror. And Lucio Fulci nailed it with this one. The Gates of Hell, you've seen it. City of the Living Dead, I recommend trying to find a nice European cut because they're a little bit better. They're a little cleaner than the actual Gates of Hell cuts. Some of the things are like kind of cut a little quicker.
Well, what's the cut on Shudder? Shudder has a version of it.
It's City of the Living Dead on Shudder. It's the good cut. So that, yes, if you're not Shudder, you're covered. Go for it. I think it's on Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, they're on there too. The Beyond as well. That's another year though. We'll get to that one. 81 is going to be fun. Okay, so
hold on. We'll time out.
Yes,
I was going to touch on City of the Living Dead because I don't call it the Gates of Hell. It's forever in my brain. City of Living Dead. That's what it's called. Just a little. Be on the lookout here in the next few weeks. The next episode is Colonel's Crypt. I think, Zach, you'll really appreciate something I'm doing here. I think it's going to be fucking hilarious. But I digress. I'll back up.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I still love your story. Not so much. It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying, if we're going to go ahead and plug some of the personal stuff we're doing here in Death Curse Society, I will warn you, the next episode of the Zigzag Zone is ready to go. It is on George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. It's a short one, man, and I'll explain why in the episode, but we're going to be delivering that one here in the next week. Get ready for it and check it out. It'll be on the YouTube page. Bloody goodness. Don't miss it.
Yeah.
All right. Now back to the list. My honorable mentions. Let me get them here. Yes, I'm ready. First, you guys already kind of covered it. Took my thunder. Deborah Harry, James Woods, Videodrome. I mean, I saw this at 12 years old in a theater, and even I was wondering, like, I shouldn't be watching this. Sitting there by myself, getting dropped off on one of them Saturdays. The early 80s was a different time, folks. Different time. But, hey, Videodrome, it stuck with me. I've seen it since. It makes a lot more sense to me now plot-wise instead of just all the boobs and everything. And I was like, never here. Yes, Videodrome, it's great. Number 2, some of you might not remember this one. Some of you might. It had a very limited run in theaters. Frightmare.
Oh, man.
Basically, the plot is a bunch of kids. They have like a Vincent Price type horror icon from the old days, and he dies. They raid his crypt to get his body, take it back to his mansion, which somehow they can get into. It's abandoned. And he comes back to life and picks them off one by one. Not a great film, but it's fun. It's just fun what happens and how it goes down, and it's memorable. Hell, I remember it, and I'm a big pothead. So, I mean, it's crazy.
Crazy.
Finally, my third honorable mention, another curveball, but hey, man, it deserves some recognition. What the hell was his name now? I'm going to forget the director's name. We got Michael Jackson's Thriller video, makeup effects by Rick Baker, directed by John Landis. And let's face it, man, it's 13 minutes of zombie goodness and a werewolf transformation that's second only probably to, American Werewolf at the time. Obviously, they took the same fucking sound effects from the movie to put it in there. But
same fucking director, same fucking makeup.
Exactly. But the zombie parts of that video, excellent. And much more horror than 90% of that list that we read, all these other movies that came out in '83. This one was actually a scary zombie segment in it that is unforgettable. The Michael Jackson Thriller video, my third honorable mention.
Okay, hold on. Now,
yes.
I'm going to jump in on this for a second because I actually considered this, but I didn't think it fit our criteria, but I guess it does. It doesn't. I mean, it was a short film, and it was released in '83.
Yes.
For those of you that don't remember, a little cable channel called MTV, Music Television, actually used to play music videos back in the day. And this was one of their biggest premieres, if I remember correctly, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
They advertised this for a month. We're premiering Michael Jackson's new video exclusively at this, and they set a time for it. They hardly ever did that.
I was so pissed. I was so pissed because they didn't have MTV in my area at that time. I think we had to wait till the summer of '84 before we actually got cable that had MTV here. But oh man! But my uncle, good old Uncle George, had a Betamax unit, and he got the Betamax. So I got to watch not only the video, but the actual 45-minute making of, which is every bit as entertaining as the video was. So I guess it was worth the wait.
I have to give it to you on this one, Ziggy. That's a genius pull right there. I greatly appreciate that.
All right, I'm just going to say, yes, the transformation scene is fucking great. Special effects, makeup, wardrobe, fucking fantastic. But dude, is your last name Armstrong? Because to me, that's a bit of a fucking stretch.
Hey man, I lived it.
Yeah, I mean, good pull. I didn't cross my fucking mind. But
I think the gates of hell is a bigger stretch than that, to be honest with you.
Wow. See, there's no rules in this shit. You can do whatever you want. You can.
Well, now I know.
All right. So now let's get back to it. Unceremoniously. 1 minute. What?
No, you're number one.
Oh, the number one. And I mentioned it a little bit earlier. It made both of these guys honorable mentions, which, for 83, I guess, but this one really set with me. Again, I saw it with The Gates of Hell in a double feature back in the prime when we'd go to my local movie theater. You'd get 2 horror flicks every Saturday. First it was 99 cents, then it went to $1.25 until they stopped for years. So I saw everything there. And this was the double feature with The Gates of Hell. One Dark Night.
Yeah.
One of Zach's favorites. If you've any traction on the show, if you've seen anything, I'm all over this movie all the time. It is a slow burner. It is totally 80s, like the Karate Kid is 80s. You know what I mean? It's just, can't get away from it. They go to a video arcade. I mean, the high school cliques, the jackets, the dress, the whole fucking plot is based in the 80s and the cliques and stuff like that. But man, when they get to the mausoleum and the things start happening and our protagonist is starting to make things happen, the end of the movie, if you can make it through that first 40 minutes and get to that last 25, I promise you're going to thank me. I'll expect the emails and gifts to come sent to my mailbox because you're going to love this movie. It's One Dark Night. Now, the director has come out and said he would like to see this remade. I'd say get crowdfunding going, man.
Now, that'd be an interesting remake.
I think so.
You still have mausoleums, and they're still creepy as fuck.
Yes.
You still have, high school cliques. You don't have arcades. That doesn't necessarily play a huge part in the movie, but you also got to figure out a way around the whole, having cell phones and technology. So,
maybe that's something he could cipher energy on. Who knows? Go ahead, Colonel.
Well, they could remake it. But look at the popularity of Stranger Things. It could still take place in the fucking 80s.
I love it. With better CGI and stuff like that, but keep the practical. Don't want to give away too much, but the practical dead effects that they have on some of the corpses in this movie are the best you're going to see.
Yeah.
And it's nightmare causing. I mean, I wish I could talk about the plot a little bit. I know it's 40 years old or whatever, but I mean...
I just know before we get any further, I hope he's watching. Corey from Vile Consumptions, I apologize in advance because as soon as the cons open back up, Zach sees you again. He's going to ask you if you've seen One Dark Night.
Listen,
no. To do a fucking poster for it.
No. We've had this discussion already. He has seen the movie, and he is conceiving the One Dark Night design.
Or, to be honest, if I was in his shoes, I'd just tell your crazy ass, yeah, I've seen it. I'm thinking about it. Just get you the fuck away from my booth.
Hey, he knows at this point, I ain't letting it go, so he's going to have to get on that shit and deliver. So,
for those of you that don't know, Vile Consumption is a vendor that goes to a lot of conventions, horror conventions mostly, some comic book conventions as well, and he combines like almost a comic book style artwork with some of your favorite horror icons, and it's fucking pure genius.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, look him up. Vile Consumption, very good stuff.
I'm facing away from my regular set, or I'd show you what I got over there. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got several of his pieces hanging on the set. So check out the show. You can see it. You can't miss them. They look like comic books, and they're big. So. But yes, One Dark Night. I mean, it's great, man. I don't care. Yes, it is boring. It takes a while to get there, but even the setup, it's interesting because you want to know what makes this guy tick, the antagonist. Yeah.
You could still simplify that quite a bit. There's a lot. The whole teenage aspect needs to be shortened a bit. Now, isn't this a Tom Holland too?
Yes.
Yeah. So, way to go, Tom. Got 2 on most of our list, I think.
83, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's something,
Or no, it's not Holland. It's McLaughlin.
Yeah.
She knows the face.
That's
1346. Jason Lives. She knows what I was like.
That's what I was thinking. I just got the name wrong for a minute.
McLaughlin. He made part 6. He's the.
Yeah.
Is this
Well, never mind. But yeah, very cool. Good list. Anybody out there that's watching, give us your top 5 from 1983. Mary says, Christine is such a great movie. Stoked to see it on everyone's list. Yeah, I'm actually surprised. Well, no, I'm really not surprised. That was a good movie from 1983.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great story.
Mike says, spoiler alert on a 37-year-old movie. Come on, Colonel. Dude, come on.
Fuck you, Mike.
And Mary says, right, get it together, Colonel. LOL. It's not necessarily a spoiler alert 37 years later. I mean, come on.
I was giving you guys shit, and I deserve that shit. So
You've had your chance to watch it
too. But to be fair, you know how you got your music buffs? They're like, some of them to be edgy are like, I don't see why the Beatles were such a great big deal. Well, that's how I am with Psycho. Understand, appreciate its significance for modern horror, but I'm like, oh, fuck, who wants to watch fucking Psycho? I'm sorry, that's how I am. I'm not a fan of fucking Hitchcock.
Dude, I'll admit, watching the original Psycho now is tough because you've got that 45 minutes of just, slow. You want to talk about a slow burn? That setup is long and hard until she gets to the hotel. Then all bets are off, baby. After that, boom, you're in the match.
I like it. I don't know. I mean, I just love the fact that she just thinks everybody's looking at her. Everybody knows that she took the money. You know what I mean? In her mind, and it just makes it work for me. That whole big setup. She needed that shower just to calm the fuck down, and
yeah.
Okay, you're reading something. I was like,
I was trying to. Yeah, Eric says outside y'all's list, majority of the movies were rated C for From Your Colon. LOL.
Yeah, this one wasn't as easy as I thought. I had my top 4, boom, 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 like that, and I was like, fuck. It took me about number 5 and an honorable mention.
Yeah, I would like to point out, Colonel was like, oh, yeah, that'll be easy. And he did only have 1 honorable mention, so,
I mean, he's honest at least. He didn't see a lot of those. He didn't want to just lie and throw one on there. I mean, Lorena's list, going back to that, The Hunger, absolutely. You know what I mean? That should be, it's right there. It's a good.
I'm kind of shocked The Hunger wasn't on one of our, especially one of your honorable mentions at least.
Just not one of my favorite vampire movies. Curtains was right there, man. For a Canadian slasher, it's good. I love the mask of the killer in that film, and that ice skating scene is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, that's memorable, But for whatever reason, the other movies stood taller with me over the years, and I had to be honest, man. I had to give it from the heart.
Gotcha.
From the fucking heart, man.
Those that are watching, don't forget to give us your top 5s. We'll talk about those. We'll mention them. We'll shout them out on the show, and let us know in the comments. Also, if you haven't already, share this video with some of your friends that like horror. Invite them to watch as well. We're going to try to do this on a regular basis and talk about different things that we don't normally talk about on our show. So stay tuned.
I think we'll probably kill a bunch of at least a decade's worth of favorite movies and shit for a while.
This is a good one, but I want to throw something that I was just thinking about it after I mentioned it a little bit ago. I want to throw another idea out that might be something. When I mentioned Psycho 2, I said it was probably one of the better sequels. What if we did like top 5 best part 2s out there in horror?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
challenge.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe top 5 best part 2s and then 3 that just suck.
Oh, 3
that. One honorable mentions?
No honorable mentions. Just top 5 of good ones and then 3 that just should never have fucking been made or should just be forgotten. What do you guys think about that?
I'm good for the top 5 and 3 fuck this shit amounts. Like, that works for me.
Challenge accepted.
Let us know if you guys
are thinking about what we should do next. I think we have our answer.
Well, I mean, let us know if you guys that are watching think that's a good prospect for a future episode.
Okay.
You want to show? You want to debut the trailer?
Should we do it, folks? Are you ready? I was hoping a few more people would be in the room for this, but hey, you are the lucky 4. It just went from 6 to 4.
Don't say that.
Don't say that. It's jumping up and down. We've been up to 20, over 20 for a while there, so it's great. We're having a great time in here.
Yeah.
So, what we had here is a teaser trailer got dropped today for a movie we're backing. The Death Curse Society is behind, and looking forward to it very much. It's Terrifier 2. It's Art the Clown returns in all his glory, and we got a first look at it. So let's take a look at it right now. Ready, folks? Woo!
So what are your plans tomorrow?
Meg and Melanie's throwing a Halloween party. You think that guy's still out there?
What's up with you and this clown all of a sudden? You're like obsessed.
They never found his body. What if he decides to come back here?
I wouldn't worry about it. On the off chance that he is still alive, I'm sure he's gone far away from here.
I don't want to see any more. That's it. That's all I want to see. Bring on the movie. That looks fucking amazing. I wasn't sure when they started talking about him being supernatural, but man, this looks fun. It looks fun.
And what I love the most out of this entire teaser is if you notice, man, the back of his head at the beginning is all bloody. See where his skull flap's kind of fucking open. Next thing you know, he's all healed up, clean cut, ready to fucking go. Like, hey, lady, what's up? I'm going to chop you up. Might saw you in half from the vagina down. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Fuck yeah, man. I'm telling you, Art, if you guys haven't seen the first Terrifier or even All Hallows Eve, please do. Get acquainted with the character. I honestly think, if I was a betting man, put money on it. We finally have our new slasher icon that we've been desperately needing since the fucking 90s, as much as I hate to say Ghostface from Scream.
Preach, Colonel, preach.
Close. Crone Face from Late Arrest came close, but man, Art has the real potential to take that fucking torch and carry us into the future, man.
Did you mention Crowley?
Yeah, so Victor Crowley came close.
Okay.
I mean, I love the Hatchet movies.
Yeah.
But I'll be completely honest, they just get worse every one that fucking comes out, man.
There's a little bit of a silliness to those Hatchet movies, you know? I mean...
Yeah, that's what I appreciate about them. It's
right.
For the fucking gore. I'll be honest, the first Terrifier movie, it's all about the gore for me because the story, there is none.
It's all over the place.
The story's a little light, yeah.
And we don't care because it has one of the most epic scenes in gore and practical violence you're ever going to see, ever. And that's coming from us, man. Now, here's the thing.
Ticker.
They said they've made at least 3 attempts at beating this scene.
You know what's awesome about this scene? I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's awesome. ESPN, they always keep their ticker going down the bottom of the screen even during the commercial break.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You're fired, Zach.
No, you have to get rid of it when the video plays.
That's your turn to get fired this time, asshole.
We'll discuss that in post, man. Post meeting.
Right. We don't have a post. It's live. We're doing it live. The synopsis for Terrifier 2 says, after being resurrected by a sinister entity, Art the Clown returns to the timid town of Miles County, where he targets a teenage girl and her younger brother on Halloween night. Doesn't get much simpler than that, and I like it for that. Now, the only thing I'm kind of questioning is what kind of sinister entity is out there that's going to resurrect Art the Clown? Is it something that Art the Clown is aware of? Is it something that the entity is aware of Art the Clown and wants him to continue his killing spree? That kind of raises a few questions there. I don't know. I don't care. I just want to see the movie.
Maybe.
Eric says, hell yeah, this was a while ago. I think he was talking about, maybe Eric confirmed with me on this, were you talking about doing best part 2 sequels and the worst, like a top 5 and a bottom 3 kind of thing, if that's what that hell yeah was about? Mary gives the claps.
Well, those are tacos. That shows how fat I am. I was like, oh, those tacos?
I think that's what they are. It's either tacos or clapping hands. I can't tell. Eric says, fuck the other people not here. We're the real deal. Damn Skippy. I agree with that. There you go. Eric said he also thinks he got wood. I hope he's talking about the trailer and not one of us, but, to each their own.
I'd be flattered.
Mike says, can't wait. And Eric says, yep. All right. Thank you. Just wanted to confirm on that. So, yeah.
I think we should show it one more time and then move on with the show.
Why do you want to show it one more time?
It's that cool, man. And there's a few more people in the room now.
All right. Well, then show it one more time.
Okay.
In case you missed it, the replay.
Be both. Well, I want to think she gave us tacos then. I'm sorry.
You take a look and see. Get the glasses off and find out while we watch the trailer one more time. See you in a second.
So what are your plans tomorrow?
Megan Melanie's throwing a Halloween party.
You think that guy's still out there?
What's up with you and this clown all of a sudden? You're like obsessed.
They never found his body. What if he decides to come back here?
I wouldn't worry about it. On the off chance that he is still alive, I'm sure he's gone far away from here.
Come on, man. That was totally worth it.
And another thing I noticed the second watch through, definitely worth it. The look of confusion on Art's face when he woke up in the morgue and he's looking in the mirror like, what the fuck? Why? Like, I should be dead. Like, what the fuck's happening here?
I like that too.
The little jigsaw riding out in a trike, that's freaky. I mean,
That's not
hey, man, if you got that clown phobia, this shit is fucking horrible for you, I'm sure. But I'm thinking this is great. I love it, man.
Somebody get Eric a towel since we showed it again. Mary sends claps and tacos this time, I believe.
Yeah.
That's everything I ever wanted was a clapping taco. Wait, never mind. That's a different show. That's a different show. My bad. Wrong channel.
Channel over there.
The wrong channel.
Jesus.
Now,
Man.
this trailer looks good. I dig the original Terrifier also, mostly just because of the gore and the character. The character is good of Art the Clown. Like Colonel said, there's no story, not much of one. Hopefully they have a little bit more in this because I want to know the backstory. I want to know, like, especially now that he's being resurrected, I want to know why he was resurrected. When Jason was resurrected, we didn't need an explanation. We were kind of just, oh, it's the Frankenstein thing. Okay, I get it. In part 6 at least. So things like that. In Nightmare on Elm Street, we were kind of told why Freddy kept getting resurrected a little bit in some ways. So I hope they explain that, and I hope they explain a little bit more about who Art the Clown is and where he came from and all that stuff. So Eric, clapping taco. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's save it for the other channel. My bad.
Let's not forget, though, either that there were almost $60,000 raised just to help produce these crazy effects and hire some fucking talent to help tell the story. So, man, I think a lot of people are excited for this one. We're definitely on board for it, too. I mean, no release date yet, but we'll keep you posted.
Rachel says, so the first has gore and the second whore. Yeah, maybe so. The cutie in the angel costume, I'm good for that. And I like the fact that she puts up a hell of a fight and takes a beating and keeps on licking, or it just keeps going.
Who knows?
That looks like it's going to be an epic fight there at the end between her and Art. So,
all right, here just don't make fun, laugh at me all you want. I'm sorry, but she looked like she fit right into the Thor movies in Marvel. I was like, oh shit, that's motherfucking Valkyrie. She's gonna fly in on a fucking unicorn Pegasus and shit. That's a cool costume.
I dug that she turned around and like she kind of notices him, and she's got a little tremble going. Even the wings are trembling and shit. I was like, all right, it's pretty good depiction of fear. So maybe that's some of our crowdfunding went to that there for some good acting finally. For God's sake.
It should be interesting. I'm looking forward to this. What do we even know a release date for this yet? I assume
yet.
Maybe later this year.
I know the original goal was to have it released by October of this year, but I'm pretty sure they still have some shit they have to film because when the world stopped, everything stopped.
Right.
And they were in the middle of production when they stopped. So hopefully, but I probably won't get it till I'm thinking early next year.
You see, yeah, because I attended a convention with those two there, and this is beginning of February, first week of February, right before everything went crazy, and they had pretty much said they had principal photography finished, but there could be some more reshoots. You know what I mean? Right. So we don't know. We really don't know.
We have a panel from them, right? From
we
one
do.
Of the cons. Yeah, check out our YouTube channel and look for the panel from Terrifier. You should be able to find it fairly easily under exclusives. And also, we've got an exclusive interview with David Howard Thornton that the Colonel did not quite a year ago.
About a year ago, yeah, just a little over a year.
So, if you wanna see a couple of guys just BS and have fun and talk some movies and especially talk about Terrifier and Art the Clown, look that up too. It's good stuff. Maybe we should try to get Damien and David to come on again and talk about what they showed and what their plans are for the feature.
We'll see what they get. We'll look into that.
See what we can do.
We'll put the feelers out there.
Eric says, wait, she had a head? Did not get that far. Oh, okay, so you start bottom to top. Okay, I understand now. And Jimmy asked, are the girls licking or clapping? Either way, it's a good night. It's a good Friday night, I'm down.
Depends on what kind of clapping they're talking about, man. To get some penicillin pills, and that's the clapping you just don't want. It burns.
That's a different kind of clap.
Sorry.
Has anyone commented their top 5 list besides Ray up earlier?
Nope.
Well, damn it, people, get those top 5s to us.
Top 3s even will take, for God's sake.
We got stuff to talk about here. What are we going to talk about now?
Well, I don't know, man. We got the premiere fire.
There's a lot to talk about. Indeed. Yes, a lot. I'm waiting for one of you guys to talk about the fucking forest. I'm sorry, because that's what I'm so used to seeing. The little insights to our lives, people. We'll be talking, and it's like, hey, let's get on the forest. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just sitting there.
So look.
Somebody might not even know what that is, man.
Listen.
Well, fuck, it's a video game. That's all you guys need to know. It's Minecraft for adults. That's what I was told.
Yes, with bloody, screaming mutants that try to tear you in half.
Yeah, we Ziggy and I at least have really gotten into the forest. Even FaZe, who joins us on our game streams most times, he enjoys it with us. It's a video. Yeah, it's basically Minecraft for adults. If you guys haven't checked it out, it just, I think, semi-recently got released on PS4, but it's been on PC for a long time.
Yeah.
5 years or so.
Yep, like 2014 it came out.
Oh, damn. 6 years.
But
So-
it's wild, man. You're on your own, and you got to figure it out. And
Very twisted game.
while that's all going on, there's still a mission. You got to find your kid and some other passengers from this plane crash you're involved with. It's nuts. It's Lost with 28 Days Later mixed in, kind of. They just come at random. It's insane, man.
All right, so Colonel, we finally got a kind of a top three list at least. But you talking about me being on Stephen King's nuts? Go fuck yourself, because Eric says his number 3 is Cujo, number 2 Dead Zone, and number 1 Christine, with an honorable mention going to The Twilight Zone. Very nice, sir.
Yeah, I can't argue at all. I mean, those were, for the mainstream and everything, those movies were top notch for horror.
Well, and you can't say that, especially growing up as a child in the 80s, Cujo did not have an effect on you. Just growing up around dogs or something. That had an effect on a lot of people, I think.
That's one of those hold your breath moments a lot in Cujo. Right. You just try, you can't help it.
Kind of like they say, Jaws made people fear going into the water. Cujo made a lot of, especially kids, made a lot of people, fear dogs a little bit. The Dead Zone, just because of its political connections, I dig. And then Christine, because you can relate to that character so well. Mike says, One Dark Night will be viewed tonight. I watched it last night. So join the club, sir. Eric loves King, have for many years. Then Eric, if you're a big King fan, if you haven't already, check out the unboxing video I did for the Shining board game that recently came out. What was that, 3 months ago?
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of pandemic. So I want to say around April was when it came out. And I made a mad dash to a larger city, because I live in a kind of a small town that doesn't have the Target. It was sold exclusively through Target and then online shops. Made the dash to pick up that board game, and then we did a unboxing video on it. And you'll see, a majority of my Stephen King collection behind me. So the books, not the movies, the books. Because some people actually like to read. So, Colonel.
I actually do like to read. I just prefer not reading. Those books are longer than the Torah, the Holy Bible, and the Quran put together. Right? I like. Give me 300-page limit, man. I'm good. Bentley Little is fucking awesome.
King is very wordy. King is very wordy, but I mean the way he puts the words together is impressive. I mean, there's always everything I read from him. There's always several lines that I'm just like, God damn it, that's fucking poetry, and it's not even really meant to be, but it is, So, hey. And I'm sure other people think there are other writers out there that they like that way too. So, we lost the thing.
I'm here.
Mike says King short stories are the best. There you go, Colonel. There's not an excuse right there. The short stories. Read the shorties.
I've got plenty of excuses going. I was Bentley Little all day. If we're talking favorite horror authors, this guy gets no fucking love, man.
What's his name again?
Bentley Little. Let me put it this way. Just quick synopsis on one of my favorite novels is called The Store. Every Bentley Little book is called The Something. It's basic. But The Store is pretty much a story about a Walmart, and they can't say the name, moves into this town, ruins the local economy, and you have to go through all kind of, hazing to work there, like running butt-ass naked by all the employees, like it's cracky with whips and twigs and cat and nine tails and shit. His books are fucking out there, but they're brilliant. And again, you're maxing out 3, maybe 400 pages. So if you're like me, your only quiet time is when you have to go. You can pick up a book for about 10 minutes. That's perfect. You read through a couple chapters,
Yeah.
You know, eat some Taco Bell. You might get 6 chapters done in one night. It's they're good. They're good reads.
Now I know where you do most of your reading. I get it now.
Ah.
Ziggy, do you have a favorite horror author?
I used to be really into Dean Koontz back when he was in his heydays, probably late 80s, mid 90s. Always just another strange, always has a strange twist. Like his characters will have a mental illness or something. They're just never straight. You know what I mean? Like it's the regular Johnny come lately guy, you know, so, just twisted, and endings are always dark and grim usually. And so he was one I really liked a lot. Brian Lumley, of course, the Necroscope series is another one that comes to mind that I love a lot too. So,
what about Clive?
Yeah, I mean the Hellbound Heart, of course, and The Thief of Always were things like he did art pieces, and there's short pieces on characters he made up. Some of them made into movies, a lot of them comic books and stuff. But sure, Clive Barker's good.
Yeah.
But as far as books, I didn't read many of his.
Okay. I'll throw out one more horror author that I like. Robert R. McGammon. Done a handful of novels over the years. I think he was fairly big in the mid to late 90s is when I first, I believe, got attached to him. One of the first books I've read of his was They Thirst, and it was based on vampires taking over the barrio in Los Angeles, which was just a fascinating idea to me. Because it was a big city, and there weren't at the time a whole lot of big city kind of vampire films or books or anything like that. So I always thought that was an interesting take. Mary did send us her top 5. Cujo, number 5, because shit was just crazy. 4, The Twilight Zone. 3, One Dark Night. 2, Videodrome. And 1, Christine. Very nice, very nice. See, everybody's top 5 has like 2 kings in it at least.
And Christine is the one that's on everybody's list for sure. So I mean, I get it. I totally get it. That's the one. That's the one.
That's the top of the list. Eric says, I did just think of an 83 movie that did not get a mention. Something Wicked. Any comments?
That almost became an honorable mention. I just couldn't do it because I know I seen that movie as a kid. I just don't remember enough of the movie. In all honesty, if it was worthy of me putting it on a list or not, it just did not stand out. I know I've seen Something Wicked This Way Comes, but
yeah,
it wasn't memorable, so I just kind of left it off.
You said it, forgettable. It's just nothing much happened. There's a couple of moments in it that are creepy, but again, this was another one that was PG-13, I want to say. And or maybe even PG straight up. So I went a horror movie, PG, you know, I mean, I'd already seen, you know, The Gates of Hell and One Dark Night and shit like that, you know. I mean, so I it was years later when I saw it, and it's forgettable.
I'll try to look it up tonight and watch it. I'm pretty sure I saw it in the 80s, but again, that's one I just haven't rewatched in years, more than likely. So
and Nuclear Assault did a song called Something Wicked This Way Comes. It's better than the fucking movie.
Right. Well, I think we should have probably talked about this before we were live, but we kind of got to figure this out. We're not doing a live show next week, correct? Because we have an episode coming out next week. Is that right?
What, on Friday?
Well, it's more because, all right, we're going to talk, you know, people are here, you've been here since the beginning. Thank you, awesome. We're going to talk shop for a second, then we'll get back to this. Put your input in here. It's an open forum for everybody. So we all know Zag's vacation runs out soon. I've been pretty quiet about this. I've been forced into quarantine for the last 2 weeks due to possible exposure to COVID. I never showed any symptoms. I'm fine. My 14 days are over. Hence why I threw this together last week. Said, fuck it. We're going live on Friday night. Well, when Zach goes back to work, Friday night is no longer a viable option for 2 of the 3 of us, honestly.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we take a week off next week for the new episode. And Friday Night Frights becomes Maniac Mondays. Because really about the only night of the week all 3 of us will be able to get together and do this.
Okay.
Monday it is. So not this Monday, though. We're going to take this Monday off. We'll maybe drop the new Zigzag Zone on Monday, and then we'll see you next Monday live.
Well, and the reason I brought up the episode is because that should be coming out next Thursday. In that, we're going to look at the new Chucky TV series teaser. We're going to break that down. We're going to talk about all the news around that and talk about how excited on a level of 1 to 10 we are about that, maybe. I don't know. That's going to be our main topic for Let's Go Camping. And then in Stories Around the Campfire, we're going to review The Beach House. We're going to look at the trailer for The Rental, which I believe drops today on video on demand. It's Dave Franco's horror movie. Take that for what you will. We're going to look at the trailer next week and talk about it a little bit. We may even have seen the movie by then. Who knows? I don't know yet. We're going to talk a little bit about the new Friday the 13th Blu-ray box set from Shout Factory. And also talk about Hail to the Deadites. It's a documentary about the Evil Dead that's going to be dropping sometime next month. We don't have a whole lot of news about it yet, but we're going to mention that.
About fucking time.
Right. And then we're also going to be talking about more delay. Actually, we could probably talk about this now if you guys wanted to.
Let's do it. I'd rather talk about it now than the show.
Yeah, because we got a few more minutes before we need to wrap this up, I think.
Oh, yeah, we can stay on for at least another 15, 20.
Hands a question mark, baby.
Right.
So, we make the fucking rules here.
In the last week or so, more delays have come for some of the movies we've been highly anticipating. So far, Antebellum is still scheduled to drop August 21st. Probably not going to happen. Stay tuned for news on that. But Antlers, which was supposed to drop, I believe in September, was their last date. That got pushed back to next year. Also, The New Mutants is about to be pushed back. It hasn't been official yet. But A Quiet Place, which was going to drop in September, has officially been moved to April. Quiet Place 2. Moved from September to April of 2021, along with other like blockbuster kind of movies like Mulan from Disney and Tenet from Christopher Nolan. These have all been pushed to 2021 now, and if there's not a blockbuster coming out in movie theaters are probably no longer going to open. AMC on their website was saying, hey, we're going to be opening July 30th. Stay tuned. Watch out. Get ready. And then that date just kind of disappeared off their website. They haven't really made an announcement or anything, but they've just taken that, like erased it, rubbed it out just a little bit. Ziggy, what do you think? Are we going to get to a movie theater sometime in 2020?
No, man, it's all over. Listen, if you're going to do it on demand or you're not going to do it, you're going to kick it off and hope that the shit opens next year. But at this point, fuck knows. And, how long can these giant buildings just sit there and not take any business in? But they're not going to open them anytime soon. I can speak for Michigan anyway. They're not going to do it here. They keep saying they keep kicking it off another 2 weeks. Now it's been 3 weeks, this last one. So who knows? I'm not expecting it. And, if you put your movie out there, you're probably going to have the number one movie, if that, whatever you can use that for putting on your DVD box. But it's who's going to go? I don't think I'm going to go. But I'm all for the on demand. I'll pay the $20 to stay at home and watch it. I'm into that, man. That's fine.
Right. Well, I mean, even when movies like Tenet, say, let's use this for an example. Even when a movie like that was going to come out, and movie theaters were limited to a 30% maximum, they were going to have to put Tenet in if you have a 10-screen movie theater, they were going to have to put that movie in 9 and just literally staircase the showings where you've got a new showing starting every 20 to 30, 45 minutes, boom, 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 just so it can make some money. And that movie has to make a lot of fucking money, to even justify being made. What was the budget on that one? $250 million? Something just kind of ridiculous. But if you're a Christopher Nolan fan, it's probably going to be worth it because he's kind of a genius when it comes to this shit. A movie like Mulan is going to have to do the same thing. There's not going to be a whole lot of room for movies like Antebellum or Antlers or, Quiet Place 2 might be a different thing, but, if a horror movie gets released and there's one screen, maybe two screens left available for it, and Tenet is in theaters, it's gonna hurt. So that's another aspect to look at. Colonel, what do you think about it? I know Colonel, for one, has been saying since all this started, yeah, we're done. Movies are done. We're not going back for a while.
I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, a good shaman's a good shaman, man. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But honestly, I'm not a shaman. No movies this year. It fucking sucks. And you brought up a great point, Crank. A lot of these horror movies, maybe not, Quiet Place 2, Halloween Kills, but take like Antlers, okay? Why not release some video on demand? I mean, there's a reason why studios love to make horror movies. They don't cost anything to fucking make. You don't, and these blockbusters, like you said, they're going to fucking die at the theater because everything's going to get released at the same fucking time. If it's not Candyman or Halloween or Quiet Place 2, I think it's dead in the fucking water.
Yeah.
Why not? I'll pay the $20 fucking bucks. But fuck, I want to see it. I've been wanting to see Antlers for fucking forever now.
Yeah.
I want to see that fucking movie. I'll pay $20 fucking dollars. I don't care. I've done it already. I did it for Trolls fucking World Tour. God damn it. I paid $20 for that piece of shit. God, the rock covers on that song fucking sucked. I was pissed. They made rock sound fucking terrible. But I still paid $20.
And I'd still like to see Antebellum. I hope they do video on demand for Antebellum here before the end of the year. I think that'd be a good time to do it.
Yeah, because I think they'll make their money on video on demand because they're not going to make it in the theaters going against these big budget movies. They're not.
Right.
That's just it. That's the only outlet you have anymore. I just don't see it. I don't see how else you can get this. How can you get around this? This is the only way. Stay home. They're making us stay home. They want us to stay the fuck home. Give us a fucking reason, man. Put this shit out so we can stay home.
But for movies like Candyman and Halloween Kills and A Quiet Place 2, I understand they need that box office money. They need the theater, push.
What if we're in the same predicament next year and the exact same thing, and they're going to kick it off another year? Or at that point, do we say it's on demand time?
If this is going, fuck it, go out there. I mean, I don't think they're going to push it off too much longer.
Well, if this is going on much longer, AMC's bankrupt, Cinemark is bankrupt, Regal Theaters is bankrupt. I mean, that's just the harsh fucking reality. I mean, we're in July right now, but AMC luckily was able to raise, I think, $300 million to help them get through some of the pandemic. And they furloughed 70% of their employees. So, I mean, AMC is just barely staying afloat right now, and they're the biggest chain in the world. If this goes on, we already expect this to go on through the end of the year. I mean, most of the movies have been delayed till next year already. So we expect this drought to last through 2020. If it's still heavy duty and fucking us up in April of next year, I think most of the major chains are gone. Unless, and this is also something that's being in the works right now, or was right before the pandemic, Amazon was trying to buy one of the theater chains. I want to say it was AMC, but I'm not positive about that. So that might be the saving grace if, Amazon was able to buy them and put some money into it to save it. But what would that change about the programming in movie theaters? Will we see more Amazon Prime kind of content released in theaters first, and then who knows? There's a lot that's fucked up right now. Couple of comments. So Eric says, got to change my calendar. Mondays, got it. Yeah. Well, stay tuned. We're going to figure all this out pretty soon, and we'll announce it. So you'll know. Mary says, fuck COVID, seriously. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Eric also says, Michigan, home state, boy.
That's right, man.
But yeah, it's going to be it's a scary time if you're in the movie theater business.
Cincinnati.
Mary says, I'm in Cincinnati. Oh, cool. So you're pretty close to Colonel. I totally expect the state to shut shit down all over again. It's an unfortunate situation for movie theaters. And I'm not just singling out the movie theaters. It's a tough situation for a lot of business owners. Restaurants, clubs, all the small mom and pop retail shops, bookstores, Jesus Christ. And movie theaters especially too, though. But, because AMC shut down in March, and they even said then they weren't even going to consider reopening until June, and it's now the end of July, and they still don't have a date figured out. But a lot of these other places have actually been able to open. Ziggy, jump in here. Talk to us.
Unless they could figure out a way to do this shit outside somehow at night, I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't think it. You just can't. Just can't right now. Just ain't going to work. You're not going to get the traffic you need.
Right.
On demand is the only way to go.
The drive-ins are still doing fairly well. Oh, careful there! Earthquake on Colonel's end.
Another one.
Drive-ins are doing well in this time because, but they're also doing like older movies. They're not just going to release, Tenet for the drive-in theater. That would make no sense whatsoever. So. Yeah, the drive-ins are good. There's a group in Oklahoma City that's doing weekly shows at like a big swim park, or I think it's on a lake, and they just set up a big like drive-in movie theater, and you get in your floaty and you float out on the lake and you watch a horror movie. And I think that's a great idea. And the Nightfall crew from Nightfall Haunted Forest and Nightfall Haunted Territory, the horror con here in Oklahoma, that's what they're doing during this time, and it's a great idea. Only bad thing is it's normally on Saturdays. I work Saturday nights. I never get to go.
Yeah, the drive-ins here are doing that too. They just had Evil Dead, and they're like things like I Drink Your Blood attached with it, like a really obscure, grindy classic. You're talking about watching it at a lake. In Michigan here, there's a lake. They show Jaws every year. Yeah. When you're in your inner tube and stuff, and I think that would be fucking hilarious. But yeah, drive-in's about it. But you're not going to generate the money you need to generate to make it worth it. So,
all right. Hold on. So I understand playing Jaws in a lake, but what kind of fucking idiot is going to get scared about a shark attack in a fucking lake?
It's just the surrounding environment. You're not necessarily.
You got water.
Floaty.
Water in your head.
Fucking fresh water. No great white shark is going to fucking come up and chomp my fucking foot off. If they were smart.
Yes. They hired a crew.
Black Lagoon or Friday the 13th or some shit. It might add a little more to the suspense, but I'm sorry. I get it. That would be cool to watch Jaws in water. I get it.
No. If they were smart, they'd hire a scuba diver to go and swim around in that lake, and then every now and then have a fin attached to his back, just kind of float up to the surface, and then lower back down just to like right next to a floaty. Like if you saw that while you're watching Jaws, you're like, the fuck. Yeah, you'd be freaking out, and it'd be great. I think that would be amazing, but I'm not sure what the liability insurance would cost for something like that.
It'd be fun. I know I had an idea. I'm talking to a guy at work about with this. It's like, man, now's the perfect time to open a fucking drive-in theater. Grant's way too late. We've already done it. And just show like old horror flicks. Have a couple screens, have your family-friendly side and your horror side, so everybody's more than welcome to come. And you make a killing right now because, one of the drive-ins around here has a pretty good doubleheader this weekend. Well, tonight and Sunday night when I can't go. But damn it, they got that Blake Shelton concert. They got a show on Saturday night for everybody. It's like, man, fuck you. I want to watch fucking horror, man. I don't want to watch that fucking dumb motherfucker running around stage.
Earthquake.
If you're a Blake Shelton fan, I'm sorry, but
well, over here they actually do that at the ice arena. We have like a minor league hockey team that's not playing, but out in the parking lot, they've been doing it for years. Mm-hmm. It's a big inflatable screen, and it's fucking, probably not quite as big as what a real drive-in theater would be, but it's damn close. And now the technology is you just put a DVD player attached to it.
Yeah.
And it plays just like a fucking TV. So you can do any movie you want. So Colonel might be on to something here.
Well, I want to know what we could do and what, the people that actually love going to the movie theater, what those people could do to support their movie theaters. I mean, I could throw a rock. Well, I'd have to get a really good throw, but I could throw a rock and hit the movie theater that I live next to. And I walk over there pre-pandemic and normally watch 1-2 movies a week, regardless what they are. Sometimes the same movie multiple times, but that's a whole different story. But I love the fact that I'm right there next to a movie theater and I got to go all the time. But what can we do now to support these movie theaters that are struggling? Now granted, this is a chain, it's an AMC, but what about the smaller, like local, small town theaters that maybe don't show the first run movies, but they still have, movies that they bring in on a regular basis and are good for the community, especially for the youth in that community to have something to do in their small fucking town, besides going out and yaw and getting high and getting fucked. What do we do to help those? Any ideas, guys?
Well, first, real quick, Mary says during the opening night of The Nun last year, the drive-in hired someone to dress up like the nun, and she said it was fantastic. So
right, perfect.
That's fucking awesome, man. I would
back to my idea for my drive-in.
And at some of the Halloween premieres in 2018, they had a Michael Myers that would like walk out on the balcony at the end of the credits and just stand there and look at the audience. I don't know if you guys ever saw that video or anything, but I thought that was a nice touch.
See, they didn't do anything that cool around here.
Right. She also says they have a drive-in here. They're playing a lot of older flicks, but still open for business. Yeah. Go see the older movies. Support those guys, even the drive-ins.
I want to, but they're playing Blake fucking Shelton tomorrow night.
I'm not talking to you, Colonel.
I know, but I'm saying every fucking drive-in around here is playing the same fucking concert tomorrow night. What the fuck?
It's just also cool now, drive-ins. You just tune it in on FM and get it in stereo, and it sounds kick-ass in your car.
But how do we help the movie theaters now?
I don't know, man. It's hard. How do you go and someone with a name like AMC, you know what I mean? Sorry, it sucks, but I mean, what the fuck can we really do?
Well, okay, how about this? Would this be a time that if you were an independent filmmaker and you had finished your film and you didn't just want to release it on YouTube to show everybody or, cut your own DVDs, what if you could contact one of these theaters now, even a big fucking chain that you live in the town? Like I could go over to the one right down the street and be like, hey, I've got a movie I want to show. You guys are closed. What do we need to do to figure out a way for you to open? Let me show my movie. I don't necessarily want any money out of it, but I don't want to pay anything to do it. But you guys sell all the concessions. You get that concessions money. There's no legality fees attached to my movie that you have to worry about. And it's a win-win situation. You
search it out. You could probably find theaters that'll do that for you for sure. I think so. Yeah. But
if they're allowed, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if they're not allowed to open, they're not allowed to fucking open.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I think there would be some ways around that if it's like something like that, because it'd almost be like a little private event, sort of. I don't know. I'm spitballing ideas. Colonel, do you have anything? Any ideas?
Not right now. I mean, honestly, as much as I'd love to support a local theater, I mean, there's a lot of people struggling right now. Now, I'm sorry, now's not the time to be like, hey, you've got some money, throw it to your local theater. I mean,
I'd be like,
on demand. No politicalness to this, but I mean, eventually the unemployment's about to dry up. People are really going to be struggling if they're not back to work yet. So, I don't know. I mean, because now's not the time I want to ask people for money, to be honest with you.
Right. When all this is said and done and over with, I still want those movie theaters to be there to be able to go to. And I'm kind of afraid some of them aren't. I almost guarantee you some of them aren't. I don't know what chain is going to shut down, but one of them is going to, at least one. That's just the way.
I hope not. I don't know. They may close certain ones. I don't know. I mean, like, I'll be honest with you, AMC, they shut down. I could care less. I hate AMC theaters.
Well,
Oh, goodness.
the AMC is the one in my region, so, and like I said, it's the one right next door. So I was one of those that signed up for the $20 a month club where I can go and see 3 movies a week. Now, do I ever go and see 3 movies a week? Rarely, but
you can.
You know, I could.
See, they built the state-of-the-art stadium thing right down the road for me. It's called Imagine, and Imagine if you missed that. And it's just it's great, you know. You can actually get into a section where they'll serve you drinks and and popcorn and stuff up until the trailers are done.
Right.
It's great, but hey man, I'd love to come. I wish I could, but we can't. So I don't know what to do.
Eric brings up a good point. Have you done this yet? Throw his comment up on the screen so we can see it. You know how to do that?
Yeah.
There you go. We'll read it.
What about all the haunts? Gonna suck for them this year since most are local supported. Absolutely, Eric. We agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. The news broke today. Universal Haunts, Universal Studios of Florida, canceled. And that's the biggest one in the fucking nation.
Yeah, Halloween Horror Nights.
Really well for local haunts, which fucking sucks. Because I am a huge fan of attending haunts.
Well, I mean, some of them are determined to open and are trying to figure out a loophole around it or however they are going to do it. But one thing that we just don't know is how bad is shit going to be in October. I mean, stuff around me right now is iffy, but we're not shut down yet. I expect to be at some point again in the near future, just it hasn't happened yet. We've got mask mandates all around, but what the hell, you know? I don't know what haunts are going to be like. Ziggy, you were an old haunter.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to do the home haunt for many years. I've worked at the professional haunts for several years, you know, and I'm hearing our new local haunt around here is called Hush, and it's been around a few years. Actually, they just bought out an old roller skating rink to make it a permanent haunted house. And I went last year. We went last October. It was great. You know, it's Hollywood all the way. And but they've already said they're taking measures to make it social distancing and waiting in line and everything. You know, but again, it's going to be weird. It's going to be leery. You know, I don't know. You know, I mean, I like to think I'm going to go, but man, I just don't know. I just don't know.
We actually kind of covered this topic in a previous episode just a few weeks ago, and where we broke it down a little bit. Was that episode 216?
It was like the episode before last.
Yeah, so 216. Or no, 215. 215, my bad.
Yeah.
Eric, you know, if you're interested in our deeper thoughts on that, you might look at that episode too. I believe it was episode 215 where we talk about horror after coronavirus. That's the one you want to look for if you haven't seen that yet. But yeah, it's going to be, guys, the world is going to be different for a while. But we just got to get used to that. That's the way it's going to be for a while. And until there's a vaccine and until most people actually take the vaccine, things aren't going to be back to the way they were 6 months ago. So get ready. I mean, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer or anything. Normally that's Colonel's job, but it is what it is.
I know. I wish I had.
We're dropping
emoji.
Okay.
Sorry, Colonel.
No, I'm sorry if I'm a little distracted. I swear these fucking rednecks have been lighting fireworks for like the past 3 fucking hours. It's driving me insane.
We can't hear it, so it's fine.
I'm glad you guys can't. 'Cause I fucking shit. That's how you save your local fucking theaters, man. Tell them stop buying $20,000 worth of fucking fireworks and put that shit in something.
Well, one last thing I'll bring up about the theaters is I read somewhere where some movie theaters had just resorted to selling popcorn curbside.
Yeah.
Yeah, the local one in Cincinnati's been doing that. Independent theater. They sell like huge ass like 3-pound bags for $12. It's like it equals like 3 large popcorns. That's how they even stand afloat.
Delicious.
That's not a bad idea, especially for the smaller independents, but you're not going to get like an AMC to do something like that, I doubt, or a Regal.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think right now you got to think outside the box, and on demand seems like a no-brainer to me.
I know AMC has their on-demand service, so if you get a chance to watch a movie through there, make sure to rent it through AMC, I guess.
Yeah.
That might help a little bit. But I don't know. Is that all we have to talk about tonight?
That's about it, man. I think we could probably wrap it up on that.
On a down note, yeah, that's how. Let's end everything. It's Empire Strikes Back. Let's end it on a downer.
Yep. We'll see you. At the Return of the Jedi in 10 days. From today.
It just makes them crave the return of the Jedi in 10 days. Exactly.
Yes,
That's
hopefully.
Fuck Return of the Jedi, man. This fucking Ewoks piss me off.
Well,
You look like an Ewok, though. I like that.
Yeah,
hey,
but still,
go
I don't
ahead.
care. How the fuck a
funny Ewok.
primitive ass little teddy bear is going to take down a fucking empire?
Hey, you'd be surprised what those tiny little fucks can do.
You were
I know.
just
Well,
surprised that one got killed. That's
Yeah, you
all.
remember the war that we played with for a long fucking time that never made the fucking show? How do you have time to reward that? Here you go. Here's your fucking award for these fucking Ewoks take down the fucking empire. This is ridiculous.
When we start a sci-fi section of Death Curse Society, maybe we'll consider that.
Then we can break that out. Yes, then we'll break it out. I don't want to burn any bridges for her, but George Lucas, you got something coming for you, bud.
Yeah. Yeah, well, George Lucas has been fucking up the Star Wars universe for a while. Anyway, Ziggy.
God, for God's sakes, man. You know what? That's it. 1983. It was a great year for movies. We're wrapping it up. Everyone put their list out there. We had some great input from everybody. Colonel's Crypt is coming soon. We got a new Zigzag Zone lined up for you. And, of course, the Death Curse Society show will be up hopefully this Thursday. We'll see. Absolutely. If you want to get a T-shirt like Mr. Crank's wearing down there, we've got them. Loomis, show your Loomis. That's our logo here, man. That's our slogan. Show your Loomis. Careful with that too. But you want a shirt, man? It's paypal.me/zigzag is DCS. We'll get you hooked up. $20, $25 if it's double X or higher for the bigger fella, the beefier fella. And we got you covered, man. We'll get it shipped right out. I'm the guy that does it. So this is it. There's no in between, no middleman. It's me, it's you, your shirt. We'll get it to you. Your DCS. It's that good, man. But other than that, that's it. Guys, you got anything else, man?
Well, let me mention, don't forget to check out our website, deathcursesociety.com. Also follow us on all the social media that's out there, Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter. Tell your friends about us, and definitely make sure to hit subscribe and hit the notification bell on our YouTube channel, deathcursesociety.com. Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
And one final thought here. If you're going to show your Loomis, okay, make sure you don't show it 6 times within a school zone because you're fucked, buddy.
That's good advice.
Friendly advice. Watch where you fucking show your Loomis.
I don't even think you can show it once in a school zone, but I could be wrong.
Well, they're closed right now, so that's why you could probably do more than 6 if you wanted to. But
if you remember nothing from this show tonight, # show your Loomis. That's what we got from this, okay?
Oh, Lord.
For the Colonel and for the Red Crank, I am Zigzag. We are Death Curse Society, and we're going to fuck it. We're going to leave you one more time with the Terrifier 2 teaser, and we'll see you on the other side, man. Take care. Woo!
So what are your plans tomorrow?
Meg and Melanie's throwing a Halloween party.
You think that guy's still out there?
What's up with you and this clown all of a sudden? You're like obsessed.
They never found his body. What if he decides to come back here?
I wouldn't worry about it. On the off chance that he is still alive, I'm sure he's gone far away from here.
Glass.